Well, mass deportations, one of President-elect Trump's major campaign promises, is getting a boost from the Republican governor of Oklahoma as that state is preparing its plan to help in these efforts. This comes as ICE released deportation numbers from the last fiscal year. More than 270,000 people deported, originating from 192 countries, deported from the U.S. over a 12-month period. This is the highest number in a decade. NewsNation correspondent Jorge Ventura live for us in Oklahoma with more on the state's plan on this. Jorge.
Well, Natasha, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt says he wants his state to lead in assisting the mass deportation of incarcerated illegal immigrants in his state with the incoming administration. It's a new operation. It's the first of its kind, dubbed Operation Guardian. The governor says he wants to remove these individuals from his country, from his state, as fast as he can. He says that Oklahoma State's prisons right now are currently holding around 526 illegal immigrants, costing the state around $32,000 in taxpayer funds. He's saying it's time now to get those individuals deported.
I've tasked them, and they're going to put a plan together. We're going to walk through exactly who they are to make sure they are serving justice, but we're also getting these folks back to the Trump administration to do their job and get them out of the country.
Now, the governor has tapped Public Safety Commissioner Tim Tipton to lead the operation and is set to present a plan to execute the operation to the governor on January 15th. Tipton telling NewsNation they'll take a look at the crime committed by the illegal immigrants on a case-by-case basis.
And the governor will take a look at each and every one of those cases. He'll look at the crime that was committed, how much of their sentence have they served, has justice been served, or do they need to remain incarcerated in Oklahoma to finish serving out their term because of the type of crime they committed. Then as soon as that sentence has been served, then have a systematic way to move them out of the country.
Now, Tipton telling NewsNation that illegal immigrants that have committed serious crimes like rape and murder will finish out that state sentence before being turned over to ICE custody, Natasha.
And Jorge, under this new plan, does the governor also plan to target for deportation individuals who are not currently incarcerated?
So Tipton telling NewsNation exclusively that they plan to expand Operation Guardian to target illegal immigrants who have committed crimes, they have served their state sentence and have been released and are still in the state of Oklahoma. They say they want to detain those individuals and hand them over to ICE custody. Now, Governor Stitt telling me when it comes to undocumented immigrants in the state, not committing crimes and paying taxes, he says those individuals would not be targeted. Take a listen.
People that are trying to chase the American dream, they're paying taxes, they're part of the community. We want to make sure that they have a way to work here legally.
And Commissioner Tipton saying they're still working on the exact details on how to carry out that operation and how they will work with the incoming Trump administration. Governor Stitt says he expects that plan to be given to him by January 15th. Natasha.
Jorge Ventura live for us in Oklahoma with that story. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.